The topic today is how to be highly effective, and I'm focusing on what we tolerate, we can't change. What we tolerate, we can't change. Life is a balance of risks. So you'll be judged based on what you say and what you didn't say. You'll be judged based on what you do and what you didn't do. So silence is not golden, because what you didn't say matters. What you didn't do matters. So that is the good thing about life, because keeping silent over what is not good cannot liberate us. What liberates the world is the truth. The truth redeems the world from hell. So if we keep silent and say silence is golden, then let the evil things, multiply. So if we keep on tolerating what we're tolerating today, there's no way that we can have a change. If we actually want a change, we shouldn't tolerate certain things, because it is the act of wickedness for somebody to take money meant for the public, meant for the health system, meant for schools, meant for building of roads, and then take them away. That is wickedness. Because at the end of the day, you've denied people their comfort. You've boxed them in. Wickedness is not only somebody who kills. Wickedness is somebody who mismanages the wealth of the nation, who mismanages the wealth of the people. That is wickedness. So if we keep on tolerating corrupt politicians, there is no way we can have a better country. There's no way we can survive it. There's no way we can make improvement. There's no way we can change, because all the solutions lies in us. I always tell people, look at yourself in the mirror. What do you see when you look at yourself in the mirror? You see yourself. So the solution you are looking for is inside of you. It is you that provides the solution. So we are the solution towards problem, and we can't afford to be silent. We can't afford to keep quiet. We can't afford to be doing nothing. Doing nothing is not an option. Keeping silent, being silent is not an option. So we can't continue to, be silent over what is good, over what is not happening, over what is, happening in our country today. Because for some of us who've been given better opportunity, more responsibility is required. To whom much is given, much is expected. There is a level of expectation on us. So we can't be silent. We can't keep quiet anymore. So something has to be done. So if we keep on tolerating criminality, tolerating the corrupt politicians who are stealing our money, who are mismanaging the wealth of the nation, then there will be no progress, there will be no change, and there will be no, the institutions won't be built. There will be more sufferings. So this is the time we have to take on the politicians and tell them to be accountable, to show accountability, to be accountable to the resources they've been given. So without that, if we're tolerating it, our life won't change. If you keep on doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, that is insanity. So the solution to our problems lies in us. It's not the colonizers. It is in us. Because everything that is required we already have it. We have wealth. We have the intelligence. We have the logic. We have the equation. We have every resources we need. We have the human resources. We have the human capital. So what else do we need? We have the intelligent people. We have the wisdom. We have everything. Yet, we don't want to get things done. We keep on blaming others. We don't blame ourselves. So the solution to our problem lies within us. And there is no way anybody can liberate us from this kind of menace we find as except ourselves. So that is why we have to have a clear eye assessment and choose somebody who will lead us. Because if we don't, then mediocrity will spread. Mediocrity will spread like fire. And that is what we're seeing today. Unless we can get a grip on what we're doing, then the whole thing will be in a mess. What we're saying that we need a leader who is accountable. We need a leader who can, who can show that faithfulness, who can show that something is handed over to him. The wealth of the nation is not your private wealth. It is something that is given to you to handle. It is not your personal wealth. So if you have taken the wealth of a nation and put it inside your pocket and you'll be moving about saying it's your wealth, that is a fallacy. That is not the truth. And we need to say out this truth. Otherwise, without saying the truth, the world will be in the hell as it is today. Because we refuse to say the truth. The truth is that the wealth of a nation is not your own. It is something that is entrusted unto you. It is a trust. And that trust should be accounted for. So if you're not accounting for it and then you are splashing money, then you are a thief. You are not doing the right thing. And that is what we can't tolerate anymore. Because we need hospitals. We need schools. We need to fix our health system. These things are not there. We need to fix our road. We need to build our bridges. The floods are covering everywhere. The money meant for floods is being put in the pocket by our politicians and they are not accounting for them. So that is the problem. Mismanagement is the problem. Don't come about and boasting that you are wealthy, that you're a billionaire, when what you're using is the public money, public wealth. You took it from the government coffer and you say you're a businessman. We are deceiving ourselves. Now, we have the politicians who took the whole money and they're splashing money and they say they're wealthy, they are good businessmen. Meanwhile, the money is meant for the public. It's meant for our schools. It's meant for our roads. It's meant for the bridges. It's meant for the dams. And we're having flood all over Nigeria today. And then we have the audacity to promote these criminals. Then we have the boldness to celebrate people who are swindling us. Who can't even account the money that are placed onto them. This is waste. This is mismanagement. The Nigerian problem is mismanagement. Because we have been causing and comfortable with people that call themselves politicians. Meanwhile, they are thieves. If your country is poor, you're poor. Please be beside it. So there is no way you can come out of it unless you start accounting. You start checking what you're doing, checkmating what you're doing. That is what everybody's doing. So you can't continue to put your money in a pocket that is open. So that is what is draining our resources. The politicians are draining us dry. We can't even pay our lecturers. We can't even maintain the school system. We are saying we set a goal. If the system is not there, which goal are you setting? So this is the time we need to call a spade a spade. Well, this is the time we need to change it. This is the time we need to change our thinking. Thinking that taking government money and putting it in the pocket and be moving about and saying you're a good businessman, you're a wealthy person, that is a lie. We shouldn't be celebrating this. I see people who are campaigning for this kind of politicians. These politicians should not be found in the ballot paper. You call yourself a billion van, you stole the whole money, the whole treasure of a state is in your pocket, and you say you are a good businessman. We are deceiving ourselves. This is corruption. And if we tolerate this corruption, there is no way we can come out of this destruction we're already in. So the first thing foremost is to understand that, look, we need to change our way. We have to have 180 degrees turn. We have to make a U-turn. Otherwise, we are heading towards destruction. We are heading towards disorderliness. There will be no law and order. So mismanagement causes people to be chaotic, causes uprising. So we can't continue to be quiet. We can't be silent. You know, we can't keep quiet over what is happening. We can't tolerate this kind of corruption. We can't tolerate mismanagement. A leader has to be accountable, first and foremost. A leader has to be faithful. Means you have to account for the wealth, the fund given to you. So if you can't account for it, what you use it in doing, then that leader has to be deposed. That is the thing. So it is all about accountability. It's about responsibility. There is no freedom without responsibility. In fact, responsibility is more important than freedom. That is why God cannot do anything for somebody who is not responsible. There is no way, if you are irresponsible, that you will succeed. It is impossible. Because somebody has to build the schools. Somebody has to look after things. Somebody has to account for the things. Somebody has to build the bridges. Somebody has to, pay the teachers. Somebody has to, build the hospital. Somebody has to pay the nurses. Somebody has to, buy the paracetamol in the hospitals. So if you keep on mismanaging these things, we can't have these facilities. And if we can't have these facilities, the system collapses. And that is the system, what we are seeing in Nigeria today. The system has collapsed because the politicians took the money. Because the politicians refuse to account for the money they've been given to. And then they're saying we should keep quiet. Somebody like me can't keep quiet because it is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. So until we start celebrating people who are responsible, until we start making a U-turn, then there will be no progress. If you are like, elect anybody you like, unless we make the first step. The first step is to recognize that mismanagement is not tolerated. We can't continue to put the wealth of this nation, the fund meant for roads, inside our pocket, and only to turn around and say we are politicians. We're telling ourselves lies. If you like, go and vote them. They're not going to change. So we know the right thing. We have everything. We are gifted. We are wise. We are intelligent. We need to use our brain. We need to use our common sense. Time has come for us to stop, peddling, supporting criminal politicians. You say they are politicians. They say they are business. They are the people that put the funds meant for our roads, meant for houses, meant for hospitals, meant for paying the teachers and lecturers in the university. And then you are asking me to celebrate them, to come and vote for the same people who made us what we are today. We can't keep quiet. Whether you like, vote for them. But I have to keep on saying that. Because everybody will be judged by what you do and what you didn't do. Everybody will be judged by what you say and what you didn't say. If you like, keep quiet, you still be judged. Look at it now. Whether you say something or you don't say something, it doesn't matter. So if you like, become silent. If you like, keep quiet and tolerate ignorance and stupidity. And then turning around to blame the people, turning around to blame the world, turning around to blame God. God has given us all the whole thing. The whole power is in us. God has concentrated the whole power in us. So we know everything. And yet we are blaming God for mismanagement, for not being accountable, for not being dedicated, for not being committed to the cause, to the goal and the objective we set, or to the mandate we sold to the people. So the politicians are the cause of our problems. They are mismanaging the wealth of the nation. And once money is mismanaged, that is wickedness. You can't put the money meant for hospitals, meant for buying paracetamol in the hospital. You can't put it inside the pocket. And the people are dying. People are bleeding to death. We don't have good roads. We don't have electricity. We don't have, houses. We don't have, food, because the people who have the money, the people that we elected, took the money. And then we are not asking them to be accountable. What kind of nonsense are we talking about? It's ignorance. There's no amount of witchcraft or whatever something can solve the problem. The only way to solve the problem is to tell them to be accountable, to account for the funds we're giving to them. That is the only way out. Otherwise, it continues to fester. So if we keep on tolerating this kind of criminality, this kind of stealing, this kind of fraud the politicians are carrying about, then nothing will change. Now they've lined themselves up again for 2023. And then you're going to vote for them. Somebody who was in charge of wealth, who was in charge of the government parastatals. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't give account. He sold them and put the money in your pocket, and you're coming to vote for him. The person who has the treasure of a state inside his pocket, and you are saying he's a good businessman, and you are asking me to come and vote for him. You are asking me to come and celebrate such a person. I'm telling myself lies. We must face the truth. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself the truth. The truth is that you know people who are mismanaging the wealth of the nation. You know the people who have the treasure of a state in their pocket, in their home, in their living room. And for you to come back and say you vote for that person, this is unbelievable. This is ignorance and this is stupidity. So the hope, our solution is in our hand. We are the solution to our problems. God has given us this opportunity. He has concentrated the whole power in us and told us, look, everything is in our hand. So come 2023, do not vote for people who stole your money. I can't keep quiet. If you want, because I'm going to be judged by what I say and what I didn't say. I'm going to be judged by what I do and what I didn't do. So I can't afford to keep quiet. I will keep on talking as far as I'm alive today. So the truth is that accountability is required if you want to be a leader. The truth is that we have to show responsibility. The truth is that we have to be faithful because the money is something trusted unto you. So it is not your private wealth. It is not your private money. It is the public money. It is the government money. Come and account for it. Bring it down. Put it where it's supposed to be. Don't put it in a pocket and say you bought houses, you bought cars, and you have this or this. This is stupidity. I do not celebrate such people. I have no respect for a politician that is fraudulent. I have no respect for a politician that mismanaged something and said he was selling properties and he was doing that and he was doing that. What kind of nonsense is that? So we can't continue to focus on these things. We have to have a system that is working, a system that can change things. That is how everything happens. So until we learn to focus on the system, the process, something happens. How do we elect our leader? How do we check who is right? How do we do the analysis and check somebody who is capable of leading us? Not fraudsters, not criminals, because they're not going to change anything. If you keep on doing the same thing over and over, nothing changes. So what we're saying is that we need to distance ourselves from corrupt politicians, whether we like it or not, because we have to learn. We have to learn to work. So whether you like it or not, you'll be judged by what you didn't do. If you like, fold their hand. If you like, become silent. Silence does not solve the problem. So you better keep on talking. You better keep on changing things. You better keep on doing things in a different way. Otherwise, that is what you're gonna see. What we're seeing in Nigeria today is a complete collapse of a system whereby people are defrauding themselves and saying they are politicians. Enough of this stupidity. So if we keep on tolerating this kind of criminality, this kind of corruption, this kind of mismanagement, then we won't be able to solve our problems. On one side, we are the solution to our problems. The whole power God has given to us. We have the best brain. We have the best educated people. We have everything good. Then why can't we do the right thing? The right thing is for us to have a U-turn. Change our belief system. Change the concepts. Change the ideas we have. Because we are floating on wrong idea. The wrong idea that you can steal your way out of poverty. You can steal your way out of progress. You can steal your way out of greatness. You don't do that. We need to work. We need to show the work. We need to show what we've done. That is it. And that is where accountability comes. That's how dedication comes. That's how commitment comes. That is the only way. The people you are clamoring, you are saying that are your problem. They're not you are the problem. You are your own problem. Your own problem. You are your own problem because you refuse to say the truth. You refuse to, condemn what is not good. Because if you are tolerating corrupt politicians and feeding from them, definitely you are increasing it. You are making them to fester. You are multiplying them. So you are part and parcel of the corruption. So we'll be judged by what we didn't do, not only by what we do, what we didn't do. So when the politicians are stealing the money, what did you do? You were silent. You were hobnobbing with them. And then you are expecting the next generation to have a better future when you've squandered their future. So that is what I'm saying today. We cannot tolerate corrupt politicians. We cannot accept them. They are not acceptable anymore. So if you like, vote for them. We'll come back. Because it's like a student who failed exam. You must retake the exam. You must go to the drawing board. So we must go to the drawing board. We must go retrace our way and say, look, enough of this mismanagement. Enough of this wealth. Sorry, enough of this waste. Because we are destroying our future. If you are stealing government money, you are wicked. Because you are blocking the futures of the generation. You are killing their talent. You are destroying their future. And the future of your own children and your own future. That is something you don't seem to understand. So if you cannot manage your wealth, the wealth of this world, there's no way God will give you wealth of heaven. If you like, take it for granted. God is going to judge us by how we use the talent and the wealth of this world. If we keep on mismanaging them and thinking we will go to heaven, you're not going anywhere. Because he said it. Anybody who failed to use his talents or who mismanaged the wealth God has given to him, he won't give him the heavenly wealth. So if we say, yeah, we are Christians and we fold our hands and then we allow people to run us down, we allow these criminals to destroy our future, then how do we think we can make heaven? Because we are silent. Silence is not the key. Silence is not golden. Because you'll be judged because you are silent. You'll be judged because you didn't know something. This is the time to do something. So look at yourself in the mirror. You possess the whole solution. It is fear that is making you to tolerate these criminals. It is fear that is making you not to speak up. It is fear that's making you not to speak out. There's no other thing. Because at the end of the day, whether you say something or you didn't say something, you'll be judged. So you are not safe. Life is the balance of risks. It's even better you say something than not saying something. It's even better you do something than you're not doing something. Because you are God. God has made you God. And you are folding your hand thinking that it is another person. It is your responsibility. It is my own responsibility. It is a duty. It is not an option. It is a duty to make your country a better place. Martin Luther said it. It is your responsibility. So don't say it is not my responsibility. What God told to one person is what he has told to everybody. The same message God gave to Abraham is what he's giving to you. The same message God gave to Moses, that's what's given to you. If God talks to one person, he's spoken to everybody. So if you're waiting for God to come and talk to you, you're wasting time because God has already spoken to you already. So don't fold your hand. Don't say, oh, I'm not a politician. Don't say, I'm not interested in what is going on. Because what they are doing is affecting you. The flood today is affecting you. The bad road is still affecting you. That is the way everything is. So we need every part of Nigeria, every person to get involved. Everybody has to get involved. That is the call I'm saying today. Both Dick and Harry we have to get involved. Otherwise, we're not moving. Look at the engine. All the parts of the engine, they always engage in themselves for the engine to move, for the car to move. So the same thing. Every person has to be involved. It is no longer something for Dick. It's no longer for Harry. It is everybody. Get involved, get engaged. Start doing something. Mobilize yourself. If you can't run, if you can't fly, you run. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. That's what Martin Luther said. So what he's saying that everybody has to get involved. It's no longer something that is only for a particular person. No. You need to get involved. You need to participate. Because the decision they are taking will affect you. It will affect your children. It will affect your great-grandchildren. So don't say, it's not my business. Because when they are killing, they kill everybody. Kidnappers kidnap everybody. So that is it. The flood, when it comes, it takes everybody's house. So this is the time you have to call your local politicians. This is the time you have to call your senators. This is the time you have to call the House of Representatives members to account, to tell us what they've done for 10 years, for 2 years, for 6 months. Get out the money. What did you use the money in doing? That is the truth of the matter. Don't sit down there and say, it doesn't concern me. That we are the people talking. You got to talk now. You got to say something, because when they want to cut head, they cut head only, whether you say something or whether you don't say something. So stop celebrating criminals. Stop celebrating corrupt politicians. They are the cause of a problem. They are the people that are mismanaging the money. Mismanagement of wealth is wickedness of the first order. It is a money entrusted unto you. So you need to be accountable. You need to show that responsibility. You need to tell us what you use the money in doing. Because if you put the money in pocket and we don't build the dams and the bridges, the flood will take over every other place. If you put the treasure of a state in your pocket and then they don't build the roads, the people are suffering. Look at what we're suffering today. The educational system, okay, because the money has been taken away from it. The lecturers are not being paid because the money has been taken away from it by criminal politicians. You understand? We don't have electricity because the money to maintain and pay workers are not there. So everybody has to get involved this time. It is no longer the privilege of one particular person. It's no longer the function of one person. Everybody get to be involved. You have to get involved. Engage yourself. One thing or the other. So it is a duty these days. It is no longer an option. It's no longer I'm a saint. No, you got to get involved. If you don't know how to talk, start murmuring. If you don't know how to speak, start learning it. Speak up. Speak out. Because at the end of the day, you are not safe. Life is a balance of risks. Whether you say something, they're going to kill you. Whether you didn't say, they're going to... So is it not better to say something? You have to get involved. Get yourself engaged. Every part has to engage. Everybody has to engage in what is going on. Otherwise, we're not going anywhere. Because these people have destroyed the future of our children. They destroy our own future, destroy the future of our children. And then you are saying me to celebrate them. Is it not stupidity for you to celebrate somebody who has the wealth of the nation in your pocket, in his pocket? You are celebrating, you are asking me to come and vote for him again. Are we daft? We are not daft. God gave us the same knowledge he has, the same intelligence he has. So the whole thing God has is the same thing. So we can't keep quiet. We have to get involved this time. So if whatever we tolerate, we cannot change. So our problem is that we've been tolerating these politicians. We've been tolerating this criminality for a long time. We've been tolerating irresponsibility. We've been tolerating mediocrity. Man, we got to wake up. Other people are rising. So we can't keep on blaming the colonial masters for 100 years, 1,000 years, 200 years, 50 years. Man, we can do something. The whole power is in us. We can mobilize ourselves. We can do better. We can improve everything. So we know everything. We have the knowledge, we have the technology, we have everything. So don't be afraid. Don't let fear, keep you from saying the truth. Rise above your fear. There's nothing they can do. At the end of the day, we'll be judged by what we didn't do rather than what we do. We'll be judged by what we didn't say rather than what we say. Don't keep quiet. Get involved. Thank you.